You guys know what time it is. Get cozy, get yourself a fun drink, and let's discuss. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Hi, my name is Liz, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing my winter TBR. I am so incredibly excited to talk about my winter TBR. My previous winter TBRs, I feel like it's like one of my favorite seasonal TBRs to talk about besides fall. Fall and winter are like my two favorite seasons to discuss books, just because I feel like it's so easy to pick books for those seasons, because like you have spooky season for fall, and then Christmas, it's like the Christmas holiday, winter, like blizzard, snow. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with that sentence. But I feel like I have such an easy time picking out books that fit in those seasons. And I always feel very immersed and cozy. And I just love my time reading in those seasons. I'm really, really excited to get into this video. So let's just go ahead and start yapping. So starting out my winter TBR, I do want to discuss some books that I already did a video on these. These are books that I wanted to complete by the end of 2025. A lot of these books were from my 25 books in 2025 video. And there were a few extras that I talked about as well, like series I wanted to complete. So I do want to mention those books because I have been focusing on trying to read those books, especially like this month leading into December, because I feel like I'm running out of time, which I am. But I want to quickly go through those books. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail with each one just because I've already done that in those other videos. Starting out, we have Silver Cloak by L.K. Stephen. This is a romantasy book that focuses mainly on fantasy. There's not a ton of romance, I believe, that's in this. I've heard amazing things about this, amazing reviews. I bought this, I think, this past summer, and ever since I bought it, I've been eyeing it and wanting to read it. So I definitely want to read this by the end of the year. Also, they carry one, so that's kind of cool. Next, we have the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy by Stephanie Garber. I've had these on my physical TBR for way too long. This was on my 25 books in 2025 video, and I'm hoping to get to these at some point. I did read Caraval by this author, loved it. And I also have her newest book, Alchemy of Secrets, I believe. And I really want to get to that one as well. That one is her first new adult fantasy book that she wrote. Next, we have Fearless by Lauren Roberts. I definitely want to read this by the end of the year, just because I do love this series. I love these characters, and I think it'll be really, really easy for me to jump back into this world. Next, we have A Tribute of Fire by Soraya Wilson. I have not heard much about this book. I do believe it's a duology. That makes me feel a lot better because I don't want to start any new series really right now. I really want to try to complete the ones that I have. At least that's going to be a goal for my upcoming year. So starting another romantasy series is not high on my list, but this was in my 25 books of 2025 that I wanted to get to. Next up, we have a sci-fi novel, which is Starter Villain by John Scalzi. This is a short and sweet book about a man who inherits his uncle's supervillain business. Just sounds like a fun time. Next, we have The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I feel like I don't have to say much about why I want to read this book. I do know I want to read it in the winter times. I am very, very excited to get to this book and get back into historical fiction. Next, we have The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. I'm so excited to read this book. It deals with time travel and it's got some magical realism going on. So very, very excited to pick this one up. The next book is The Push by Ashley Audrain. I know this deals with a lot of motherhood and like postpartum and like the darker side of motherhood. I feel like this one's gonna really make me think about having children one day. The next book is a dystopian world called Vox. This is set in a world where women have a limited word count every single day, and so it's got Handmaid's Tale vibes. I think dystopians are just a really fun and quick palate cleanser. I think this will be really great to squeeze in before the end of the year. Next up, we have Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I've heard amazing things. A lot of people raved about this book a few years ago. I know this follows two childhood friends who are designing a video game over the course of their lives, so it kind of takes you through their life and designing this video game. Next up, we have a cute little romance, and that is Rachel Weisz's Group Chat. I have not really heard many people talk about this one, but it is a shorter romance book, so I feel like I can just throw this in as another palate cleanser, and this will just be a very short and quick read. Next up, we have a romantasy trilogy, which I actually just started the first book this morning, and I'm already really, really enjoying it, and that is Daughter of No World by Carissa Broadbent. These are all very thick books, so that's why I have been putting it off for so long, but I love Carissa Broadbent's writing so much. I read her Serpent and Wings of Night duology, and I also read another book in that same world, and I have enjoyed every single book I have read by her, so I'm very, very excited to get further in. The first book, like I said, I just started it this morning. I'm like 40 pages in, and I'm already eating it up. I knew this was gonna happen when I picked it up. It was just a matter of when I was gonna pick it up. And the last few books that I think I talked about in that video, where books I wanted to finish by the end of the year, was I want to get back into the Lightlark series. So I read Lightlark a few years ago. I really enjoyed it. I did forget forget a lot that happened in that, so I kind of want to reread it or at least skim through it again and then continue on. So I have Nightbane and Skyshade. I also bought the deluxe Grim and Oro special edition, and then I know Crown Tide, the final book in this series, comes out beginning of December, so very excited to get my hands on that and to complete and binge through this series. Now we're gonna get into some books that are just on my winter TBR period. These are not books that I am forcing myself to read by the end of the year, and these are ones I have not talked about yet. So these are new. If you've already watched those previous videos, these are new books, so buckle up. First book on that list is North for the Winter, and this is by Bobby Podesta. He is actually a Pixar animator. Very excited to read this graphic novel. It is I think a YA or middle grade graphic novel, but I haven't read a ton of graphic novels, and this one just seems like the cutest and sweetest little holiday graphic novel that I could pick up. This is following a young girl named Virginia. She lost her mom recently, and one night she sees a flying reindeer, and she tells her neighbor about it, and they go on this wild ride trying to help this reindeer get back and save Christmas. I feel like this will just be really fun and a really quick read for me. The next book I want to talk about, this is a dark romance book, which I have not read dark romance a lot. It's not something I'm well versed in, but I definitely have read some dark romance, and this is one that I've heard so many people talk about it, and I saw that it was traditionally published recently and I picked it up, and that is Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. This one is following a girl who, it's set in the 1950s, I believe. Her name's Darcy. She ends up getting a letter that her father passed away, and he has included her in his will, and in order for her to get her inheritance, I believe, she has to travel back to the town he lives in, which is Fairytale. While she's there, she meets a broody, charming man named Caleb, and as they're slowly having their little romance, at night she's actually dreaming of a completely different man named Amon. I don't really know what's gonna happen in this book. I think this will just be a fun change of pace, and also I feel like winter just feels like the right season to read this book, especially because it seems like very moody and gothic. The next book I want to talk about, this is actually one I'm gonna be buddy reading with my coworker, and that is To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. This is going to be a dystopian romance book, I believe. It might be the beginning of a series. It takes place in this prison where the wealthy hunt the inmates for sport. I'm pretty sure though that the main character, she's in here just to like save her brother or something, so she doesn't actually belong in this prison, and while she's there I believe there's gonna be some sort of romance between her and the prison guard. I don't really know, but it sounds very interesting and very fast-paced, and I'm really excited to read this. And the next book I want to read is A Feet So Cold by Amanda Foody and C.L. Herman. These are the two authors that wrote All of Us Villains, and I really enjoyed that YA duology a few years ago. This, I'm not sure if it's YA, it might be new adult. It takes place in this world where summer is like the main season, but then for like 6 weeks they have winter, and it's like super harsh and very deadly, and they all have these magical wands, and basically the male main character in this, he ends up with the most powerful summer wand. It awakens for him, and our female main character, she ends up with a powerful winter wand. They are rivals and they have to go up against each other. In order for the world to be safe, one of them has to slay the other. That's really all I know. I need to look more into this book because it sounds so intriguing, and I also love that the female main character is the one with the deadly magic. And the next few books are all holiday romances that I hope to squeeze in before Christmas, and the first one is Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. This is the author of Icebreaker. This is her holiday romance, so definitely want to pick this up before Christmas. The next one is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. She wrote Love Light Farms, which I loved those books so much, and I'm really excited to get into another one of her books, especially with a holiday theme. Why do I feel like this one's paranormal? Oh, okay, so the male main character in this book is actually the ghost of Christmas past. Interesting. Okay, the next book I'm gonna talk about is a hockey romance, which I always try to squeeze in like a hockey or ice skating type romance in the winter because it just, I don't know, it screams winter to me. And that is Fake Skating by Lynn Painter. Love Lynn Painter so much. This was her newest release. I think this is YA, but our male main character, I believe he is a hockey star, and the girl was a childhood friend of his. Oh, this involves fake dating. I'm gonna eat this up. And the last book that I'm gonna be adding on my winter TBR is the very popular Advent romance, A Heart for Christmas. This I've seen everyone talking about, and I definitely want to do this. I think this will be a really fun thing to do throughout December. So it's an Advent calendar romance book, so every single chapter is actually covered up, and you have to like actually open it up to get to the pages. It goes through every single day. You get a new chapter leading up to Christmas. I think it'll be a really fun experience to do this in the month of December. The story is following our main character April, who ends up going to her father's chalet and she's going here to kind of make the most of her life. She recently had a surgery, I believe, and she's trying to take her life back. And while she's there, she runs into her best friend's older brother, who is a ski instructor. You know, I'm gonna eat that up, and I'm very, very excited to read this and experience this. I can't pick these up because there's so many books on this TBR, but they're all right here. I know it's kind of lame. I should pick them up. No, you know what? I don't have the energy. That is gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching and seeing what my winter TBR is gonna look like. I am so incredibly excited to read all of these books. I have a lot of goals, especially leading into 2026. So getting to clean out some of my TBR is definitely one of my priorities, and I'm hoping that I can just get in the reading groove this upcoming month and a half. And already I feel like I'm there. Like, I'm really enjoying reading this month so far, and the book series I'm in right now, eating it up. Like, I know I'm gonna fly through this. So I'm really, really excited, and I'm excited to take you guys along with me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. Please comment down below what books you're gonna be reading this winter, and I am just so excited. This is like the cozy season. This is when I'm just like staying inside reading all the time. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Happy reading. Bye.